You looking to move to Rosarito to save money? When I originally came to Mexico, I went to Rosarito first, and I felt like it was a bit of a mistake. Rosarito is quite a ways from the line, probably an additional 20 to 40 minutes in general. I felt, this was a little far away when I tried to coordinate my time for crossing. Actually, from tracking the times online, I would run into the problem where, the line would be short, and then when by the time I got there, a lot of times the line would be longer. I mean, many people are watching the line times and trying to cross too. So this really tacked on quite a bit of time to my crossing. Actually, the traffic is pretty significant going in and out of Rosarito in general. Obviously, it's a little easier midday, but that's not when most people are trying to get out of Rosarito and get in. Actually, I found that even taking the route taxis in and out of Rosarito was quite a bit better because they would break, if you're from Rosarito in general or have visited Rosarito, the taxis will break to the outside, even going up on the curb and, very the much outer side than maybe you're willing to drive. And this helped a lot, but still just the additional commute on top of the crossing was pretty significant. There's no doubt Rosarito's a little cheaper for a couple of reasons. One is Rosarito's quite a bit bigger. It starts just, probably closer to Del Mar area and goes, I think, close to La Fonda, I think it's called. So there's quite a, a bigger area that you can move to, and a lot more choices. Plus, the hills of Rosarito, that area there too is kind of the same situation. I mean, there's a lot of good value, but that's oftentimes where the deportees move to because it's also cheap and they're able to get, some of the better jobs in the area. So they're able to take advantage of Rosario too. It's an attractive place to live. Large, foreigner presence. Americans, and this is a bit of a tricky situation. I personally moved from Rosarito, and I really love Tijuana. I think Tijuana is a much nicer place. I actually think Rosarito, if you're concerned about violence and these type of things, I think Rosarito is a little dicier in my mind. I don't have any data to back that up, but it certainly feels like it. I've been in the area off and on for quite a while, and I think that's probably true. Even Rosario's implemented things like, paid parking for Walmart and different things like that. It's a little more spread out too. I feel like Tijuana's got better, walking opportunities, cheaper taxis, actually better access to the line. I could check the line in most cases and end up at the line in just a couple of minutes. But that's what I found. Rosarito, was kind of that type of situation where there's a lot of deportees, gang members, things like that, where, I just felt like in general Tijuana was a better choice. There's no doubt Rosarito's got some nice places. I did enjoy Rosarito. It was kind of nice to have that, surfing. The water was a little cleaner, so on. But in general, I felt like Rosarito was, for commuters especially, not a great choice out of the gate. Now, if you don't gotta cross the line is often, I think that I think Rosarito is a better decision, maybe even beyond Rosarito, to place, like I said, La Fonda, I believe. Again, I'm really bad with these names. And the further you go away from the line, I feel like is quite a bit better. And you're going to save a lot more money and get more bang for your buck and out of the Mexico experience. You have to be very careful with moving to Mexico for the idea of saving money They're trying to hack your existence, save your job or whatever you're looking to do, make the better money and then cross. You can find that the commute times are very high, so the trade-off is not as good as it seems. There's no doubt your money goes quite a bit further, but the costs are rising in Mexico too. It's becoming quite popular, and more people are doing it at a pretty large clip here, especially recently, which also is increasing the line times in general. Many people have little niches about crossing, like motorcycles and whatnot, even the Century. But this is hard to rely on if you move to Rosarito and then try to work that angle. Riding a motorcycle, walking. I think across the board, walking is probably the best, in general, but still you have additional cost in taxis and also transportation in the United States. Anyway, if you have any questions about moving to Rosarito or moving to Mexico and saving money, I do highly recommend Playas. It is a much better place, I think. A little more. I mean, the police are on top of it, and Playas, I guess, and really kind of really kind of kick out the illegals and stuff like that. I'm not sure why that is, but I think for the most part, there's a lot of little private communities and things like that that Rosarito has, and Playas is a little tighter, and so I think the police presence along the beach and stuff really help. That being said, still, along the beach is where most of the little crime activity goes down. Um, in general. So, kind of a few blocks away from the beach in general, I found was quite a bit better. However, living beachfront is ultimately the big draw for living in Mexico, I know. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give her a like and thanks for watching.